How you doing?
I'm good, mate. Aye,
Yeah?
I'm good.
Good.
Everything's good.
Body's good?
The body's not good, mate. That's one thing, Bobby, that's held me back a wee bit. You know, I've had a lot of trouble with injuries, and you know, it's I'm going for a hip replacement next week, but apart from that, you know, I'm just hanging by a thread, mate.
Listen, I wish you well. I wish you a healthy recovery after the operation.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about yourself, okay?
Yeah.
First of all, Hibs, okay? Your beloved club, know the best end of the season, okay?
Yeah.
We can talk about management and so on.
Yeah.
However, what's your assessment of Hibs now and your assessment of Hibs going forward?
I think if me looking at it as a Hibs fan, you know, it's been a poor year, you know, all round basically. I think Hibs finished what was it, 8th?
Yeah.
They've become 8th.
Listen, they finished in the bottom.
That's not good enough for a club of that magnitude and that size, you know. And I think everyone will agree as well, Bobby. And you know, change of manager. I think what was it? They changed Jack with Sean. It didn't quite work out.
And they got rid of Sean.
Now they've brought in you know, Lee. So you know, it's a 50-50 one with me, with Lee as well. You know, I think in the modern game with managers, basically, you know, you've got to get it right, especially at Hibs as a club. You know, because you'll have the fans which they'll be doubting you already before you even step
Yeah,
through
of course,
the
of
doors.
course. I mean, when you're the Hibs manager, you're only judged on certain games, aren't you?
Aye,
The obvious, the derby
Hearts.
against Old Firm, and you're expected to beat the rest of the teams.
Yeah.
But I think right now the problem is for Hibs is that Aberdeen will spend.
Aye.
I don't know how much, but they will spend. St Mirren, he made some of his signings very early on. He signed up a few people.
Yeah.
Hearts will probably go again.
Yeah.
The Old Firm speaks for itself. So you're thinking Dundee United as well. Do you know what I mean? And you know, you think, okay, well, where's Hibs at the moment? You know, going forward, if he does get money or some players in, he's got to be a top 6.
Aye. It's got to be a top 6 for me.
Cup runs.
Hibs always do well in cups. I don't know, for the past 10 years we've always got to a semi-final or a final. So you know, but your pinnacle is for Lee. He has to get his signings right.
Yeah.
You know, I think at the club just now, I think you know, they've got a great youth system. You know, they've got a great coach in Steve Keane and Gareth Evans.
They're doing well. They're doing well. Under 18s, I mean, listen, further.
So you know, they'll be pushing the first team boys all the way, and I think that's a good thing for the club. You know, but they've signed the boy for Leeds, who looks on paper looks a decent player. I've never seen him. So they need to carry on with these kind of signings. But it's not all about signings, you know what I mean? The fans get excited about it. It's not all about signings. There's players there what you could get more out of, I think, as well.
100%.
You know what I mean? You need to be the kind of manager who has a culture, and you know, has a culture with players. I think with Sean wanted to play a style of football which he never had
The players for
to play that way. So you have to adapt, you know what I mean? And
there's a saying though, Gary, isn't it? The players compose the style of football that you play.
Of course.
You know, let's hope, you know, Hibs kick on, you know, for the right reasons, you
exactly.
know. So Scotland, that was gutting.
Oh, honestly, just I think we're a better team, and actually we played in that game. To be fair, I think I'm not putting any blame on anything for what's happening, you know, in the world, you know, with the war or anything like that.
You still got to win a game of football.
It's a game of football, you know what I mean. And for me, Scotland didn't turn up, and I think Steve got the team wrong, to be honest. I didn't think the starting 11 was the right one to be picked.
Do you think the 3-5-2? You know, listen, it's worked before. I get it. You know, sometimes it'll work and so on. I've seen people talk about the 3-5-2 didn't work. Was it the personnel in the 3-5-2? Because through the middle, you know, listen, everyone saw it. We were getting bullied in the middle of the park, and that's no disrespect to the players that played there, you know, because at the end of the day, they've played brilliant for Scotland in the past, okay? But if it's not working, you need to change it. And, you know, we're talking about saying Hibs, get the right players in, adapt to a system that suits the players you've got.
Yeah.
I just felt for that game, you know, forget the personnel, I just thought, if it's not working, honestly, God, the first 15-20 minutes I was thinking, right, okay, we need to change this.
Chasing shadows.
Yeah, we're second to everything, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we're not going to World Cup.
No.
It is what it is.
No.
Nations League and so on. It's going to be hard to uplift the nation. But listen, let's hope we get a few wins.
Yeah, exactly.
Going forward, if you were Steve Clarke, what would you do? It's a tough job.
It is a tough job, and it's a pinnacle job. A manager's career is being a national team manager.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a hard thing to get right, and Steve's got that right up to that game.
Yeah.
And that game just, for me, the boys didn't turn up. So you've got to put the blame on the players.
Yeah.
They've got to take the heat, which they have in the papers, and in the media and etc.
Which is new for Scotland.
Yeah.
Because historically,
because we're 2 games away from the World Cup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a real hard one to take. But I didn't think we were aggressive enough.
No.
I think we didn't show enough spirit, the Scottish
fight.
spirit.
Yeah, I know. Because we're
fight.
known to put a foot in,
Aye.
get physical. Because
That's what I mean.
Historically, I don't think anyone will agree. We've not been blessed with talent.
So much
Okay,
talent.
and okay, let's say we've had talented players,
Mm-hmm.
but as a group, we've never had a generation to be like, if we keep these boys fit, we've never had that. There's always been a few couple of players.
Yeah.
I just felt, you look at the players and you think who they play for, respectively,
Mm-hmm.
what they've done.
Aye.
You think, go kick on. So going forward, as I asked, what do you do? Another rebuild?
You've got to look at and players what are it's a tough one being Scottish manager.
Yeah.
You've got to look at, obviously he's gave players which have done well for them the opportunity to play. You know what I mean? So you've got to look at and maybe look younger again, and maybe kick on that way, or you're going to stick with that group of players and maybe say it was an off day and look at it that way. You know what I mean? Because
Which one would you lean towards?
I would lean towards it was an off day for
Yeah.
Scotland, and you touched on it perfectly. Let people know you're there.
Yeah.
We're known as a nation for that. Scotland. Don't feel sorry for Ukraine because of what's happened in the world. Everybody feels sorry. We do.
Of course, not. And we're not. Listen,
But it's a game of football. It's 90 minutes.
That
You know
had to
what
be
I mean?
won.
What had to be won, and you have to give Ukraine a bit of respect because I thought they were class on the night.
they bopped the ball around really
Aye.
nice, really, and
They were class.
you forget some of the individuals they have in their team.
Aye, that they play Premiership.
I know,
They're playing
European
in-
football, and
Yeah.
you're thinking, wow. And listen, Yarmolenko, took his goal well.
Nah.
Even the last
Great
goal, the
talent,
boys, his left foot, Harry Potter settings, mate. That left foot's a wand.
Fluid, isn't it?
Oh, I'm telling you. And the boy at the end, I can't remember his name, but that was a good finish.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? And I thought he was going to go the other side.
It could have ended up about 6 or 7.
I know.
You what
I think the McGinn chance.
The McGinn chance, if that goes
That
in,
changes the game.
That changes the game. The whole complex.
Because then we get the
whole
McGregor goal,
complex, aye.
and then 2-2.
Aye.
You
And
take
then
extra time.
and then you've got the fans right.
Oh, I know.
You know
and
what
then
I mean?
you basically say Ukraine, how's your bum? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Suki time. But listen, that's Hibs, Scotland,
Aye.
out of the way. What's this about this academy that you're doing, this football team?
Yeah, well, it's something what was planned pre-lockdown, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we've always wanted to expand the academy. So the thoughts were to expand it with a men's team, basically. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So younger kids can look up to them, basically, in the community. So we want the younger kids that we've got in the academy to look up to the older boys, which is obviously we have to start in the Saturday leagues, which is amateur. But it's basically, before lockdown, we were talking about it. So there's a group of us, there's a committee. So you've got me, Grant, Tony, Grant's wife. I think Big Tweed. There's about 6 years, 7
Okay.
years, and
Good team.
obviously we've got about 8 coaches as well. So but as I said, we're trying to expand. So we've put a men's team into the Saturday leagues.
UEFA,
and we're chucking ourselves in the deep end. And the reason we've put the men's team in. We're also looking to put a 14s team in as well this season as well.
Oh, brilliant!
And not just do like single sessions and do like academy sessions, but want to be playing in leagues now.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You want to push it on.
We want to kick it on.
Yeah.
And as putting the men's team in, we want them to be role models and come to some of the training sessions to watch the kids and give them experience, because there's a lot of ex-pros which is in our team. You know what I mean? So it's like
so the kids can see that motivation, commitment, discipline. If these guys are coming to watch you, you know, look what you could potentially kick onto. And we
want the Saturday team to be a stepping stone for when we're eventually been like a 16s, 18s team. Hopefully the Saturday team's near a junior stage at that time, you know what I mean? So it's a stepping stone there. And then if you've got better players, we'll not stand in their way. You know, we want to use our contacts and try and push them into better
senior
clubs.
football. Senior football, yeah.
Where they're getting paid a wage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the whole ambition of it. We're a community-based academy which we want to, in East Lothian, we want to really push the kids, you know what I mean? We don't want them on the streets, you know, like fucking causing trouble and all that, but we want to actually, you know, teach them how I got taught, you know, for all the experiences, all the great managers I had, you know what I mean?
It's tough though, isn't it?
It is tough.
Because of the generation now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I say we, I know you're older than me, but our generation, you had the ball, you went out till you were called to come in for dinner. And then that was it, you were in.
That's it.
Or you went to football training and you were in. You only had a few places to go: the park with your friends, or the field, school, and then you were back home. Or the one good friend that you went over and played the computer with, as they say. Now they call it the Xbox and PlayStation.
I don't know, I didn't play. Keep me out of that.
But do you see what I'm saying? But nowadays, you know, there's so many, I won't say distractions, there's so many options now, isn't there? You know, the computer, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, alcohol, drugs. I hate to say it, but all these are all easily accessed to, isn't it?
It's so easily accessed to, you know. And you know, I've got 4 kids as well, Bobby, and you know, they're starting to get older, and stuff like that, and you know, you start getting worried about them because it is so easy to access these sort of things, and that's what our academy is about as well. Is as we're sitting in this meeting room, we have a lot of meetings here as well. You know, like me speaking to the parents and the kids, basically just telling them about you know, how easy things are accessed out there, and you know what path you want to go on and what path you don't want to go on. So I do a lot of talks like that as well.
So with all of that, how do you still manage to be you?
I don't know, mate. It's hard work, honestly. It's to be fair, sometimes it's 7 days a week, the job, you know. It's quite tough, but I love it. I love coaching. I love seeing kids, which what I've coached since they were young. You know, because I've been the academies, we renamed it a couple of years ago, but you know, the academy has been running for about 5-6 years.
Yeah.
You know, and
you're growing.
I love to see kids which I've coached for when they were maybe 12-year-old, and now you see them getting pro contracts in that. You know, so that's what we're all about. That's what I'm about. That's what gives me the buzz in the morning. You know what I mean? Go to coaching the kids and doing the 1-to-1s, doing the summer camps. You know, and every time I coach, it's all positive stuff I feed into the kids' heads. You know what I mean? But also you have to give them the dangers as well.
You need to be real.
You have to be real about it.
It's got to be a nice balance.
There has to be a balance in it as well, in the coaching. The coaching, you know when a kid's down, you can pull them aside. Not just a boy. We coach a lot of girls as well. So you know when they're down, and you have to be able to go over to them and spot that problem and try and nip it in the bud if you have to speak to the parent or something. Because there has to be something bothering them. You can pick up. I don't know, I'm not a master at it, but I'll pick it up right away in training.
Well, you're a people person, and you can tell. Because when you're training these people, the boys and the girls and stuff, you know, there's a bond. You get to know them better, you get to know their moods, their behaviours, you know. And if something's off, like any good manager, any good coach, you should be able to identify it. For you, is that the ultimate satisfaction because you've coached these kids and now you see what they've developed to, and now they're going on to a higher level?
Yeah, that is the ultimate, you know, satisfaction for the academy. You know what I mean? It's we want to give everything to these kids to help them in the community. You know, in East Lothian and parts of Edinburgh as such. You know, we want to give them the best. You know, the best facilities which we think's here, and
It's brilliant, brilliant, by the way, yeah.
The pitches, and we go out of our way to try and help them in every aspect, So it's a pinnacle in the academy, but in my own personal life, I've got ambitions. I've had offers, to go into management, to go back into the pro game.
Yeah.
That is still part of the process which I'm wanting
go
to
into,
do.
yeah.
But it's
time,
the right,
isn't it?
the right offer just hasn't been there. There's been maybe 5 or 6 offers for managers' jobs, but they've just not been the right ones for me. But hopefully one day in the next couple of years, when everything's established with the academy, because we think we've got a time scale, maybe 2-3 years, where we want it to be built up to like starting for an under 10s all the way up to a men's team. So that's what we want to do, and there's only going to be one of them in Scotland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's academies in Scotland, the Golden Greys, and the other ones which they've not got men's teams. They've not got teams which actually play games.
I think that's isn't it? You know yourself. You'll train Tuesday to Thursday, Tuesday to Friday, Saturday. You want to play. You want to put that all in, and that is the end result. If you're from age of under 9s, 10s, 11s, 12s, whatever, so on. Even as a man, if you've done well in training twice a week or whatever, you want to go on Saturday. I know. If there's nothing on Saturday, you just think, it's like a wall, isn't it?
That's where kids maybe can go and socialise and do the wrong things.
Friday nights.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, fields, parks. Do you know what I mean?
And that's the aspirations we have, is we want to get them in on the Saturdays, because we've got enough coaches, got enough volunteers what help as well, to have under 10s, under 11s, under 12s, under 13s, but a lot of it comes to do with finances as well, Bob, with sponsors. We're quite lucky. We've got a lot of good sponsors with Vital Human Projects, Safe Fans Calves, which I'm wearing just now, Wally Hunter Investments, Number 9 Clothing.
It's tough though, isn't it? Because to start from scratch, nothing's free, unfortunately, isn't it?
Yeah, nothing's free, and we don't take a wage out of it. We do it off the back of hands, basically. So it's a community-based academy which I set up because after professional football, I did see how tough it is coming out of, like, everything's regimented. It's like the army, you know what I mean? Everything gets done for you. You know what, Bob? And what I've noticed, it's very ruthless as well. It's very ruthless. The clubs what they do to the kids, because a lot of the kids for pro youth come back down to my academy. You know what I mean? And the way they've been treated, that they've done so well for like
to get there,
get a contract and get a couple of years, and then get told, you're not
involved, you're not needed
by a text message even. As some of the players which I know of, even some of the girls what we've got are outstanding players, and being text by a text message, you're not needed anymore. And
that's
you're
hurtful.
That's where they can go. I call it the 3 month rule. You either get them back on track, and you can. They've obviously got ability because they've been a pro.
Exactly.
So you get them back on track. You get them training. You get them back up to speed fitness wise, because it's all about fitness and speed.
Of course.
At the moment.
You need to be an athlete now.
Ability's fifth down the line. Or something like that,
which is.
I don't want to go off.
I don't want to go off
crazy, man.
Off topic, but just a quick side note on that. I said this to my colleague Callum, right? He works for Celtic, and we were just talking, and I said to him, I was like, the talent pool is like down the list now. And he said, what do you mean? I went, you need to be able to be an athlete, respectively.
That's pinnacle. That's what they look for.
Can he run for 90 minutes? And I feel like stats are taking over the game.
Stats have took massively, Bob.
And you can say they've ruined the game or they've made the game for a bit. I just think stats tell you what you want to know, right? That is the truth, though, isn't it? You need to, and you've got guys turning up.
It's crazy.
Turning up to training unfit, and you're expected to do runs.
It's mental.
and then it is. Listen,
it's mental.
Anyone that tells you they like running is a liar. It's the worst part of the football.
Used to hear.
Worst part of football ever. And you know what we're saying here? I think it's quite tough, because when you get released, that's it. Okay, we've said it's ruthless. you know, I agree with you.
And
I
your
think
fitness goes within 2 weeks.
Yeah, of course,
because
because
it's away.
Listen, you can't just turn up and expect to be playing at elite level, okay, pro youth level, whatever. At the end of the day, even amateur, okay, people might kid themselves on, but no.
That's what we had our first game last week, Bobby, honestly, and we've got a lot of ex-players, ex-pro players, but are out of shape. You know what I mean? And we got hiding last week, and that I knew we were going to get hiding because we were getting 6 or 7 men at training, and that's when we were doing our fitness stuff. You know what I mean? And if the boys only go to, we're getting 20 boys at matches, at games, but 8 at training. And that's not going to work.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
And that's what I says to the boys. And I'm going to say it to them again. I've got a game on Sunday here.
I'll be at this game.
And
I'll be at this game.
Aye, and it's against Riverside. And I'm going to go through them. If you turn up to training, I'm not bothered if you're the best player. You're not playing on the Saturday. You know what I mean? Because it's not fair where the boys are committed to turning up to training.
100%.
I know it's amateur. I know.
But if you want to play football, Gary, you'll make the time.
You'll make the time for it, of course. You will.
Because if you organise the night out,
the
people
boys
will get
be there.
You get babysitters, you know. And I used to always say this when I was playing Swiss at Arniston, and the other cause I say when people didn't turn up straight, I say, but they'll turn up on a Saturday. If we said, right lads, night out, be at this bar for that time, everyone's out. So, you know, and I always think if you need to convince someone to play football, just don't come.
They come. That's my motto as well.
Do you know what I mean? Going forward for this team in the UEFA, hopes mid-table, or you just looking to have a good?
No, it's exciting times, honestly. We're trying to mix the team with youth and older heads. Obviously, bite into my contacts with ex-pros, but try and guide the younger players. I train quite a lot of players what are, you know, like 16, 17, so we want to try and include them as well into it.
That helps them because they're playing with men.
It helps them and you know, it toughens them up as well, because you know how hard it is. You see, when I first McLeish used to pull me up over his training all the time because I was big, I was strong, I was fast, you know what I mean? So I was always the first one pulled over for the young boys. And I was up against big Sean Dennis. Remember him and Yogi? Yeah. And every time I went past Yogi, he used to just snap me. He used to put his studs right down my legs. Every time. I wasn't passing him. And he'll tell you himself. You see the fucking marks all down my legs. Stop holding my hand. The marks down my legs, Bob. Honestly. And that wasn't him just you know, try to take me out of the game and try to thing with me. That was him trying to toughen me up as a player.
Because to be fair, on a Saturday, you're the opposition.
Aye.
So at the end of the day, someone's got to take you out because they don't want to concede a goal. You know, you're talking about bonuses. You want to win it. You'll try to win a game. So you know, it'll be the best for the defender. If they can't catch up with you, take you out.
And there's no better feeling, and I say that to the boys as well, that especially the men that we've just got this group together. There's no better feeling than winning a game. You know what I mean? And as you say, Bobby, we're in this league, but not in this league to participate. You know, we're in it to actually get promoted. You know, because there's 4 teams in this league that get promoted, and we want to be one of them. You know what I mean? And then progress into the next stage, and then the next stage, and as I say, eventually try and come a junior team, or then even like push it onto a lowland league. You know, there is scope for that, and there's investors out there who we can speak to, who's wanting to back us to do that. You know what I mean? So
these are just now the hard yards, though.
These are the hard yards, and we've been at this since January. You know, we've put a lot of work into this, so we don't want it to fail, and we don't want players to fucking come in drunk or whatever. You know what I mean? Or they'll be fucking told.
It's good because you know.
We want to be an example, and we want to be professional. You know, we've got the best of kit, we've got the best of balls, we've got the best of facilities. You know, so we expect something back for them as well. You know, so it's not been rough, it's not been tough on them. It's just being, you know, mature and being professional. That's
I think the best part. I think that is being mature and professional, because at the end of the day, you wouldn't turn up to your work drunk. You wouldn't turn up to your work late. If you knew you had to be at your work for a certain time, you'd be there. It's all about punctuation and application. So no, what I will say is that I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best. And I honest to God, I hope you're successful. For me, when I was younger, you were one of the players I watched. So to see this development of you giving back to the community, it's stories that we don't see much of, and we don't hear much, especially in Edinburgh. You know, on East Lothian.
There's nothing here. Mate.
Yeah, and respectively to all the academies, you know, it's brilliant what they're doing, but to get a team out on the pitch.
That's it. We want to take it that step further.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And I honestly God hope you're successful. And I really, really think you've got a great thing going here. I think your team, they're loyal. They're good guys. They're good guys. So Garry, thank you so much. I wish you luck.
You too, mate.
Brilliant.